Hey, how you doing? My name's Dante Harris. I'm here with my friend Carlos Garcia from the Garcia Effect. We're going to talk a little bit about credit insurance, get you up to date, and talk about why it's exponentially grown over the past 12 months. Carlos, thanks for coming in, man. How you doing today?
Good, man. My pleasure.
Dog.
It's been a run. It's crazy.
I can't imagine what the past 12 months has been like for you. So for people who have no idea what credit insurance is, imagine I don't know anything about it. How would you explain it in say 60 seconds or less?
Okay, so basically, easy way to understand it is Samsung sells a TV to Best Buy. Okay. Tells Best Buy, hey, you have 30 days to pay me.
Got it.
What we insure is if Best Buy goes bankrupt, disappears, slow pays them, our customers receive a check for 90% of their loss, 60 days from the day they filed that claim.
Okay, so I just want to spit this back at you, make sure I understand, and for our listeners as well, our viewers, our listeners, our audience. That's the word I was looking for. So for anyone who gives a good or service on credit, say they put it on the arm and they say, okay, you have X amount of days to pay me, right? And then for any reason that the company that was supposed to make the payment can't make the payment because of default, they go out of business, they belly up. You pay, or the carrier pays them out a claim of 90% of whatever that loss is.
Correct.
Okay, I think I'm up to speed.
Yep. And over the last 12 months, what's happened, as everybody knows who's watching or listening, inflation has gone out of control.
Absolutely.
So if I get a container and fill it with microwaves, back in the days, that used to cost $50,000.
Right, makes sense.
All of a sudden now inflation hits, that same container, same microwaves is now costing about $120,000.
And that's just due to inflation purposes, right?
Straight due to inflation.
And so because the inflation has gone up, the cost of insurance is obviously going to have to go up, or the cost of doing business has gone up.
Yeah, the insurance cost hasn't gone up. What's gone up is actually it's not what's gone up, it's the risk that you're putting out there.
The greater the risk.
Right. Okay. So where before, if in that same example, your company took a $50,000 hit, it could be that you can sustain that, or you had a reserve for it and you moved on.
Like a Timex.
Exactly. Right now, you get hit with that $120,000 loss.
Timex stops.
Exactly.
It ain't ticking, it ain't talking no more.
Exactly. It could put you out of business.
Yeah.
So now we're seeing customers that never looked at credit insurance, Googled it, are coming to us now and saying, hey, tell me about this. What is this?
Right.
So we're seeing customers from certain pockets of industries that we typically didn't write business, now coming and asking us, hey, is this something that you can insure?
So what I like about this, right, is that you already have the audience's attention. So the people that are coming to you, they want to be informed. And what's awesome about clients who want to be informed is now you have influence. Right. And not in a bad way. Right. Right. Because you want to make sure that you have first and foremost a relationship with your client. And once you have that relationship, you want to be able to influence their decisions. You want to make recommendations that they actually listen and hear. So what you're saying is like, okay, people are coming to you. They want to know what it is, how they can protect themselves even more, have an extra layer, like a layer of coverage or protection. And now that things have increased so much, right? The cost of business has increased, and it could be such a hit for them. They need this.
Right. That's when I see with customers, and we go back and forth on things. I'm like, you guys have this building insured for fire.
Yeah.
What are the chances you're gonna have a fire in here?
Right.
But then you turn around and you let hundreds of thousands of dollars come out the back door to business, put it on either on a train or on ships, and that part you don't insure it. Like it's flabbergasting to me, like how they do that, and it's just a way of doing business. But now, due to this inflationary problem that we're having, this has become everybody's looking at this under a microscope, saying, hey, what we were putting out that back door is now times 10.
Yeah,
I can't afford to get hit with this. Does an insurance exist for this? And it does.
It does.
Right.
So before we got on camera, we were in the room and we had one of the partners here at JAG.
Right.
And you were just sharing something new that you taught him and you also taught me at the same time because these are things that like we just don't think about, right? Like when we're insuring a building or we're insuring the general liability, slips, trips, falls, we don't really think about credit insurance and how we can bring this as a value add to our clients. Can you just like, I don't want to like steal your thunder.
Yeah.
So go ahead and just, this table's been set for you.
Yeah. Well, I always tell when I meet with brokers, okay, like yourselves, I say, imagine if you walked into a business, okay, and you were presenting credit insurance for the first time.
Okay.
The customer, okay, buys into the concepts and purchases the policy, okay? And now you come in and say, hey, I was able to do such a good job for you on this credit insurance stuff. How come your current broker never brought this up? And now all of a sudden it puts that doubt in their head.
Right.
Were they really working? So now you come in and you say, hey, let me see if I can, just the way I helped you with this, if I can help you with the rest of your business.
Yep.
And now you took that business away from that other broker. So that's why when I meet with brokers, I say, hey, do you ever talk about credit insurance? No, unless the customer brings it up, I don't even bring it up.
Yeah.
And I say, well, what happens 9 out of 10 times is that same thing happens on the flip side where you're not bringing it up.
And you lose the business.
Your customer comes and brings it, and now you lost the business. So, and it just adds up. And that's what I was, explaining to Fernie. Hey, you got to be able to look at those opportunities and maximize, because what the last thing you want is this customer goes to somewhere to find a resolution to this problem.
And then they take on then they take on not the whole problem, but like they take on the entire account.
Exactly.
I think as a first year producer, right, first year broker, one of the things that I'm focusing on now at this stage in the game, like before it was like get business, find business, write the business, bind the policy. Now it's okay. Now that we got the policy, now that we've developed relationships with people, let's round out the account. So on the personal line side, it's like we got the homeowners. Let's get the car. Let's get an umbrella. Let's get an inland marine. Like how many lines can we write with that one client to make sure that they have adequate coverage across the board? And with this, what I hear you saying is, okay, if we can do the credit insurance, why don't we do the workers' comp? Why don't we do the general liability? Why don't we do the builder's policy? Why don't we do the property policy? Why don't we, like, there are so many different layers, and if we don't first take that step, right, someone's going to come up.
Oh, absolutely.
And be like, oh, they didn't talk, and that's such good verbiage. Like that's such a good line, not a line.
And especially, with a company like Euler, we work very well with brokers. Yeah. In tune that it's not like the customer calls me and I tell them, oh, I can see you got a broker here. You got to call your broker. Yeah. No, we're basically an open door policy. If the customer calls us directly, we handle it. If the communication comes through you, we handle it. We're very hands on as long as the broker allows us to. Yeah, and with that, it's the confidence of asking for the business. Oh, absolutely. Right? Like, hey, who looks at that? Take it the next step. Sign this BOR. Sign this AOR. Right. Let me be the person who represents you and services your policy. Like we talked before, it's not about going around town and just flinging BORs around and just taking firing other people. But if you come in with a value add and you do something that makes your customer react, you have the right to ask for that because you're going to be able to help him on all his other businesses. Absolutely. All right. So I mean, before we wrap up and before we finish out here, like, what is one thing you want people to take away from this today? Well, if you're a broker out in the community, what I want you to do is go out there and part of your, let's call it your repertoire where you ask, hey, do you have your cars insured, your house, this, the other. Hey, do you insure your accounts receivable? I can guarantee you 9 out of 10 times the customer is going to give you a what? Yeah. You can insure your accounts receivables, and that's where the conversation will start. And for end users that are viewing, just give us a call and see if we can make your experience of you shipping something out the back door a little bit more comfortable. It's basically sleep insurance. Yeah. Yeah. And that's what it is. That's what it is. Yeah. I love that. I got nothing else to add, man. Thanks for tuning in. Carlos, again, man, thanks for stopping by. Thank you, man. Anytime. Yeah.